Hi, my name is Morgan Rysdon, and I will be talking you through what is called constructive rest. This is considered a guided lesson. However, as you become more familiar with the idea of constructive rest, I hope you will begin to try this on your own as well. Let us begin. The first thing I'd like you to do is find a comfortable place that you can lie down on the ground, perhaps on a yoga mat or a rug, and bring with you a couple of books of varying heights to rest your head on. Once you've gotten yourself onto the floor, let's begin with bringing your feet out in front of you, extended all the way flat on the ground. Your head is going to be resting on the books that you brought with you, allowing the neck muscles to relax into the ground. You're going to do your best to keep your eyes open as I'm talking you through. However, depending on how you're feeling today, you may find yourself wanting to close your eyes, and if that's the case, give yourself permission, and when possible, open your eyes again. And remember, as I'm talking you through the directions, these are simply words. They can mean different things for you at different times. Constructive rest is an opportunity for you to be with your body, free of distraction, and getting feedback from how you feel. And this will change from day to day and from time to time. You're opening up the lines of communication so that perhaps you feel, oh, I feel pretty good in this area. Or, oh, I feel as though this area of mine is fatigued or a little tired. As you're here, let your hands come to rest on your stomach so that you can have some reminders about the flow of your breath coming in and out. As you know, we're going to be coming back often to the top of your head and your neck, reassessing how relaxed does the neck feel. I do also want to mention that there may be some mind wandering. So as you're here, you might find yourself thinking about something that you need to do today or an errand that has to be run. This is called being human, and it's okay. When this happens, you bring yourself back into the present moment, bringing yourself back to my voice and my words, and then rethinking about what's going on with your body. So to begin with, see if you can let your head fall completely into the books, so that it doesn't feel like there's any tightness or tension around the fact that your head is resting on something. You may find that your muscles of your face are a bit tight. If so, go ahead and relax those. And also, see if you can let your jaw muscles relax. The neck muscles, while we do talk about them mainly in the back, remember that your neck is three-dimensional, so there's also a front to that as well. And to the best of your ability, allow all of the neck muscles to release. And notice if with that thought, the shoulders perhaps fall to the ground. About now, you can bring your feet up so that your knees are propped and pointed towards the ceiling above you. Feet are flat on the floor and about hip distance apart. The feet are hopefully pretty relaxed, and if they're inside of some socks, you can go ahead and give them some wiggles of the toes to remind your feet that you've got all these wonderful bones. And then again, if you need to adjust at any time your spine, go ahead and feel free to do so. I want you to come back up to the top of your spine, remembering that the top is in between the ears, behind the bridge of the nose, and that this is the beginning of the very top of your skeletal system. This is where the first weight-bearing joint is, where the head meets the spine. And the spine is gorgeously long. It goes all the way down to your tailbone. So it's a wonderfully long spine that in this horizontal position on the floor, you really have a chance to elongate and to lengthen. So we're going to talk about the torso. The torso from your collarbones above your shoulders, all the way down to your pubic bone and your sits bones. We want to imagine that the whole torso is lengthening and widening. You've got wonderful space in between each one of your ribs, where the breathing can come and go and flow in and out. And if you notice any tightness around the armpits or around the shoulders, see if you can let that go, letting all the muscles again fall into the floor. If you feel you need to sort of adjust on the ground, of course, go ahead and do so. But notice with your hands placed on your stomach that the breath kind of changes the longer that you're on the floor. Perhaps the breaths are shorter. Perhaps they're a little deeper or slower. But notice the constant flow, the ever-changing circulation of the breath. And while we're at it, we can appreciate and express some gratitude that we don't have to think about all of those breaths that we're taking day in and day out. So if you can, relaxing the ribs into the ground, letting the lungs fall back, and letting the heart release into width. So oftentimes when I'm doing constructive rest, I think about my internal organs also getting a little bit more space and room to function at their best by just imagining all those organs and what they might be like in gravity as I'm lying horizontally on the ground. The shoulders are wide. They span from right to left, and you have these gorgeous shoulder blades in the back that hang behind you and can rest easily on the ground underneath you. The sternum in front of your torso has a nice weight to it, so it too can fall back into the floor. You can return and check in with your head and your neck and see, are my neck muscles tightening? If you notice any tension in your neck, now is a good time again to release it, thinking about not compressing the spine at the very top, nor anywhere along the entire length of the spine down to the tailbone. You're going to shift your focus down to your torso and to the bottom of your pelvis, where the legs attach at your hip joints. Thinking about the space in between the right and the left side of your hip joints, noticing any tension or compression, and if so, then letting that go. Again, the legs are bent so the knees are relaxed, the hips are released, and the ankles are free of any tension. If your legs feel like this is a lot of work in this position, you can bring the knees either together, or you can let the feet come all the way out, and you can straighten your legs again. But give yourself permission as you're doing this constructive rest to always come back to what would make this easier. What parts of my body feel like they're working? Where am I holding tension? Where am I holding compression? And any sort of areas that you feel could be a little bit easier or relaxed, see if you can think those areas into a little bit more ease. Notice the curves of your spine as you're lying on the ground. In this position, when your knees are bent, the spine has a certain sort of curvature that you want to respect and maintain, not pushing too hard into the ground, nor lifting up from the earth. And as you're here, you let yourself continue to relax into a position that's quite comfortable. The neck and the jaw are relaxed, the shoulders are relaxed, the pelvis is relaxed. And you can bring yourself back up to your head and your neck ever so briefly, just to remind yourself of the importance of the head and the neck relationship to one another. The fact that you don't want this spine to have to work hard to keep your head lifted on these books, but rather the neck is nice and easy. You don't want to be lifting your ribs off the floor. You're just simply letting your body, your torso, lengthen and widen and really expand into the ground. I often also include these ideas of opposition. So the fact that my head is very far away from the bottom of my feet, or the fact that my right shoulder and my left are far away from one another. You could even think about your elbows from right to left. If your elbows are bent to the side, perhaps this is the widest point of your body. So take a moment and release into whatever position you're in right now, finding places that you can lengthen and widen more. Fingertips are relaxed and the face muscles are relaxed. Again, if you ever need to, you can always bring your hand to the back of your head to check on the balance of the head on the books. And as you're here, you're breathing as you listen to the instructions that I'm giving you. So in this position, you can take some time to really rest and give yourself an opportunity to hear whatever information your body is giving to you. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Perhaps something is easier than others. Perhaps something is more fatigued. Whatever it is, you're listening free of judgment, but simply observing and allowing yourself to take in that information. In a moment, I'm going to be asking you to come back up to standing. But before I do that, give yourself permission to be as comfortable as possible lying on the floor. When you're ready, you're going to get up, remembering to maintain all of the freedom of movement and the lengthening of the spine that we worked on while you were lying down in horizontal. Taking it step by step and being conscious as you get up and you moved from one position to the next. You don't have to rush. You don't have to be quick. There's a sequence. One step follows the next step, follows the next. And in each movement, there's opportunities for you to expand, to lengthen and widen, and maintain all of the nice releases that you got while you were down in the horizontal position. When you come to stand, allow your neck to free, your head to move forward and up, and your torso to lengthen and widen. Allowing the balance of your head to be easily poised at the very top of the spine. Thinking of your shoulders widening out as your knees release away, forward from your hip sockets. And continuing this movement as you turn off your audio and you move about to your next task. I hope you enjoyed your guided lesson through Constructive Rest, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Okay, ciao.